Shipped out. My name is Libby Kendall, and I am a prisoner of war. Well, not really, but some days it feels that way. Just like my dad, I've packed up my things and shipped out. Unlike my dad, however, nothing I do will ever help the Allies win World War II. My father is a mechanic on a battleship in the Pacific Ocean. I'm trapped in a little apartment above my Aunt Lucia's bakery downtown. Mom says it's just for a few months while she works double shifts at the clothing factory. She makes uniforms, mostly sewing pockets on jackets. I asked her once if she snuck things into the pockets for the soldiers to find, like little poems written in calligraphy. She said soldiers wore jackets with pockets to hold tools they might need for war survival, not silly things like poetry. It seems no one appreciates my creative contributions to the war effort, but Aunt Lucia says my help to her is important, since both her workers joined the Army. On my first day with Aunt Lucia, she explained the daily operations of the bakery. First, we get up before dawn to knead the dough. Next, we bake bread and muffins. Then, while I help customers, Lucia makes cakes and cookies for sale in the afternoon. Whenever the phone rings, she races from the back room to intercept the call. She's always worried that it might be bad news, so she wants to be the first to hear it. After dinner, Aunt Lucia invites neighbors over to listen to the radio. Some are immigrants from a wide diversity of backgrounds. Lucia and others help translate the news into several languages for everyone to understand. I always listen closely for any bulletin about fighting in the Pacific. I remember how intently my parents read reports about the war which I rarely understood. They often whispered to one another, and I'd shout out something like, "Speak up, I can't hear you." They'd frown and leave me alone to talk in private. One night they came into the living room and turned off the radio. At first I was angry, but they had serious expressions on their faces. "Our country's at war," Dad said. "The military will be looking for new recruits. I know something about boats and ship engines, so I intend to join the Navy." My face grew hot, but my hands felt cold. "You can't just leave," I said. I stomped on the floor for emphasis and stormed off to my bedroom. Looking back on that now, I feel ashamed of how selfishly I had acted. This morning, Aunt Lucia can tell I'm feeling down. She asks me to help her decorate cupcakes for a fundraiser tonight. At first, I'm not interested. I just slather on frosting and plop a berry on top. Then I realize that I can make red stripes out of strawberries and a patch of blue from blueberries. Soon I have a whole tray of cupcakes decorated like flags to show Aunt Lucia. "These are wonderful," Lucia says. "I'm sure they'll sell better than anything else." For the first time in weeks, I feel like I've done something right. I think of all the money we might make at the sale, and how it may buy supplies for my father. "I enlisted in the Navy to help restore democracy in the world," my dad said on the day he left. "Now you be a good Navy daughter and sail straight, young lady." I promised I would. As he went out the door, I slipped a little poem into his coat pocket. "Here's a little rhyme to pass the day," it said. "I love you back in the USA." I look at the cupcakes and wish I could send one to my dad. Instead, I'll draw a platter on which they're piled high and send the picture off to the Pacific with a letter. That way, my dad will have plenty to share with everyone there.